San Jose. Yes. Congratulations, everyone. 60 days challenge completed.
I'm wearing my shirt.
And yay. And this challenge happened is in presence class?
It was both. You could
Oh,
do
both. You could do online. Wow, that is amazing, amazing. And how many students participate 60 days challenge?
Oh gosh, we filled up that whole poster, you guys. How many is that?
That must be more than 60 then.
Well, amazing. 60 days.
I don't think 60
60
necessarily
people.
completed, but there was more than 60 participating.
Yes.
More than, oh wow, amazing, amazing. I'm so happy that that's something that heal people, huh? And you can see that people need it so much.
Yeah.
And it's so great to opportunity having those both way in presence and Zoom. Is that I'm so happy. Thank you, everyone. And keep doing yoga, what you're doing, because you just have to do more to love more, right?
That's it. Absolutely. Well said.
Yes.
I'm here with my kids, so you can come down. And, you know, like that's the best way to travel around and teach yoga. I came from LA with my both kids and I taught here. And I'm going somewhere else tomorrow, who knows?
That's great.
That's a great life. Thank you.
Well, keep doing what you're doing, Rajeshri. You inspire us to keep going too. So yeah, and thank you for stopping in.
Yes.
Yeah.
So enjoy.
Yep. We're gonna share war stories about how we did 60 days.
I will say keep kicking your leg high.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. You know that 60 consecutive days, I'm sure not one of you, right? All of you have had to have at least one dream where you're dreaming the dialogue. Come on, right? And I've heard the teachers saying, right leg up, lock the knee, all this stuff. I know I have, right? I have.
Back.
Exactly.
Rajeshri, just so you know too, we have, because we have the indoor and the online, our community has grown outside even the boundaries of San Jose. So we have Neil in San Diego, and we have Lenora that's in the East Coast. You're in Ohio, is that right, Lenora? Yep. And then we have Thomas down there. Are you in the Boston area? Is that where you are?
You're muted, Tom. Still muted.
Well, that's nice to know that you know so many other
area,
other people are other studios are joining. So
I'm outside of Cleveland.
You're outside.
Oh, you are.
And I'm in Michigan.
Yeah,
oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, watching the Spartans take on Nebraska as we speak.
And I heard they were winning. I heard they were
13.
winning.
It's 13-all right now.
Oh, okay, all right. Only tell me the score if they're winning. Michigan State. I don't want to know.
They were at the half.
Yeah. So yeah, Rajeshri, it just goes to show you, right, that the expansion of yoga.
Congratulations, everyone. Enjoy today's kickoff party, and I'll say goodbye here. Is that okay?
Yep.
Love you all.
Love you.
Bye.
Thank you for today, Rajeshri. Yeah, I'll send you the
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks for stopping in. Well, that was a
Hi,
nice
Michelle.
surprise.
Michelle, this is Arun. How are you?
Hi, Arun. Where are you? Can you show us?
I'm driving.
Oh, okay.
Drive safe.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining in, Arun. If you just want to listen, that would be great. Just make sure you pay attention to the road. Oh, there you are. Oh, my. Okay. Hi. Don't look at us. Look at the road.
Yeah.
Well, hi, you guys, and welcome to our 60-day challenge party yet again. And, you know, it doesn't matter, you know, having this party, whether we're in person in the studio or in person here live on Zoom. It's just an excellent way to connect and come together and celebrate this achievement of 60 consecutive days of yoga. I got to tell you, I know the last one we did, right, you guys, was during COVID, where it was 100% home practice, right? And this one, I have to say, right, if not more challenging, because it was a mixture, you know, and then we had a curveball thrown at us when those of us that did the indoor, all of a sudden we had to wear masks again.
Yeah.
Right. So even through, you know, more adversity, we still stayed true to our practice. So congratulations, you guys, right? Keeping with what's important, and, you know, more and more testimony to not allowing yourself to spin off into, you know, distractions, and stay true to yourself. If not, sharpen with that friction, right? Sharpening more of who you are. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. That's why we have the t-shirts, and that's why we have the party, right? So we recognize, you know, it's not 30 consecutive days, it's 60 consecutive days, right? As if it's 60, that's a lot, right? So it's always nice to come together. These parties are always so much fun to hear your stories. So I'd like to just kick it off. And Lenora, you were the first one that came to mind. So maybe you can share with us, because you did, right? You did 100% the home practice the last time.
Yep.
And obviously again, but with a mixture now of, right, the Zoom as well as the online, right, too.
Yep. And managed to have a colonoscopy in the middle of it all.
Oh,
So that was the one. I did a double at the beginning. It was my first double ever in my life. And it's a good thing, because then I did not have to do yoga the one day that I was told not to do anything. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Everything came out fine. Everything's fine.
oh, that's good. Yay, 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 yay.
But yeah, it was probably a little TMI. Sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah, no, I think we just dive right into that vulnerability and be open. So way to kick that off, Lenora.
You know, it's really late here for me. So, but
And it's being recorded, so now the whole
right, so you know, it's just like, just go.
it's just life, it's life.
Just go. So
Anything much, you know, different for you, you know, because you're rolling right into a regular practice here, which is just
yeah, you know, it was interesting because the first one on some levels was easier because everybody was at home, right? I mean, the whole world was at home. And then in the summer, the world had opened up somewhat, depending on where you lived. It opened up more or less. And I found myself, and I'm still struggling with this, you know, half of the people at work are, you know, just tired of COVID and want it to just be normal. And then the rest of us are like, the world is not yet normal. And many of us are taking care of people who are either immunocompromised or just they're just very frail. My mom is in hospice, right? And I put her in hospice care. She's at home. She's with me. She's here. But, you know, we went into that on Memorial Day. So I was kind of juggling a whole lot of distractions, and I really didn't think I was going to do it. I was like, I don't think I have the mental focus, and I just, but I did it, and I really did. I did it. There were a couple days I had to sit down on a couple of poses, but you know, it was just a kind of very important appointment, you know, really to make. And Tom, where the heck are you on my screen? There you are. So I wanted to say this to you. That's why I was like, I hope you're on this, because honestly, I sent you good vibes the whole time. And I really kind of did it because I know the first one was rough for you. And I was like really afraid I was going to go through the same thing you went through during this. And you know, it was just the idea that you had tried. And I was like, well, I'm just going to try. And I'm really glad I tried because I made it through and I got an even more awesome t-shirt. I also, I was thinking about this, revealed to Matt that I actually invented a new posture for Bikram yoga. I invented the namby-pamby sit-up. I discovered that I was doing a namby-pamby sit-up throughout this whole process. And then one day I was like, oh, wait, you mean I'm not supposed to bend over totally? Like I should put my legs on the ground and kind of stretch my hamstrings and go forward? And I realized, oh, that's what that is. So I stupidly revealed that to Matt during a class. So I got called out. And so if you're ever wondering what that sit-up is, you might be doing the namby-pamby, but I've trademarked it. And you don't want to do that. Because once you stop doing that, you can actually kick. So don't do that. Don't do what I did.
Gosh, where'd you get that name from? Can you say it again?
You know, it's like I have a very old soul and I use a lot of old timey words.
We can make
But,
it Sanskrit as well. It can be Nambi Pambasana.
There you go. There you go. So I discovered that that may not have been the only posture that I was listening, but not really listening. So I think I learned a lot about listening, you know?
Nice. That's
yeah.
just awesome though, right? Isn't that awesome? I mean, think about it, right? For your life, you know, to listen more. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, opening up to perspectives. You look beautiful there, Lenora. You know, I'm just so
Thank you.
pleased. You're such a big part of our family. So congratulations.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
And I'm glad your colonoscopy was good. So why don't we go into Deepa and Shantanu? Congratulations. Woo!
Thank you. So speaking of colonoscopy, I also had one. So I had to plan the damn thing. So Michelle knows I have IBS and I have GERD, and it was, I don't know why, but over the past month and a half, it became a very intense problem. And in one of Sarah's class, I had to abandon the class and run to the restroom.
Oh.
It was very bad. So I did get the colonoscopy. So I had to plan my time, when to start that drinking regimen. So I did a 5:30 class, then I started drinking the solution. Then the next day I had the colonoscopy at 2:30. And I was wondering if I had energy to do the class in the morning, but I still did the class. It was fantastic. So it all worked out. Yeah, so I'm still waiting. I mean, I got my results, but I'm still waiting for diagnostics. There are other tests that I have to do. But 60 days, it was really a challenge. We had a vacation in between. We went to Sausalito for a weekend getaway, and for 2 days we did our practice in the room, hotel room. And it was a real tiny room, and we were like trying to fit ourselves in that room and trying to get the temperature up. And but it was good. As Lenora said, we learned a lot of good suggestions. And no matter how much we thought we were doing the right postures, the right way, there was always something that was wrong. So, and then certain things we could not do at all. It's like very frustrating. But yeah, in the end, we finished this. We were very happy. We saw so many improvements. It was really fantastic. Thank you for everything, guys.
Yes, thank you for everything. And I think I read somewhere that at least finally after 60 days, you will be able to lock the knee. And I think we are closer to that.
Yes, yay. Oh my gosh. That's such a good feeling, right? You know, and an accomplishment, right? To know that you've worked so hard to attain something, right? You know, and it builds confidence. And
yes, that's for sure.
Yeah. Just from my own experience with the two of you, I mean, I think your practice has improved so much, you know, your concentration and just, you know, your understanding of the postures too. So you're still doing classes, you guys? Yeah.
No, actually, after immediately that we started having festivals and we couldn't attend any. So I think from starting next week we are.
Yeah, I think Monday, day after tomorrow will be our first class after our 60-day challenge.
Good for you. Good for you. That's okay. You can take a break, but not too long. You got to come back.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? That's the point, is to keep the practice going right now that you
Yes.
you get momentum, right? And a rhythm going, and it only gets better. I mean, there's more and more layers of breakthrough, not just physically, of course, right? Mentally too. So,
Yeah.
but beautiful. And I got to see Shantanu. You came into the studio that one time. That was nice, to see you. Yeah. Yeah. So
Yeah.
will you stay doing it at home, home practice?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, good. Congratulations, both of you. That's great. Has anybody else got a colonoscopy? Let's just get that over with right now. We'll go to them. Jill, you did? You did? Okay. But you didn't do the challenge, so I hope your colonoscopy results are good, Jill. That's
I
good.
attempted the challenge, but I wasn't able to get 60 and 60. But yeah, colonoscopy was fine. Went well. So
Oh, that's great. That's great. Too funny. Okay, why don't we go to Jazz? I see you in there. Jazz, can you unmute yourself and or is she frozen? She frozen there? I can't.
Yeah,
tell.
she was frozen.
Okay. Okay. I don't see her actually anymore either. All right, Thomas, let's go to you because you're in Michigan. We'll have you.
All
talk
right.
about
Well, it's a little chillier here than in California, but it was
What
a
is
beautiful day.
Yeah, and what's the temperature there now in Michigan?
It got about 75 today. Have
Oh.
you guys ever heard of so we have this thing in Grand Rapids called Art Prize. So it's people from all over the country, all over the world. They display their art all over the city.
Wow.
So it's really cool. So I was out running around with that today. But
With your 60-day challenge shirt on, I hope?
no.
No.
I was not. It was a little too chilly.
Okay. All right. We'll let it
So
go.
I'm taking a little. I'm dying to get back to practicing, but I'm in the midst of kind of a bit of a diet right now. And what I noticed during the challenge is I was very disciplined to keep that appointment each day to practice, but my eating and drinking habits were not stellar. So I actually probably put weight on, which was very frustrating. But I don't know, a couple of things I reflected on. Yeah, definitely practice definitely got a lot stronger. Really enjoyed the combination of the online and the live stream. I think I got benefits from both. There was days where the safest place of my day was, in my bathroom doing yoga, because, it's preparing you for outside the room, but sometimes, outside the room doesn't always go real well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that was a kind of an interesting observation that I had, I think, during it.
Yeah.
But yeah, really enjoyed the discipline of, regardless. I mean, all my friends, all my family, that we just knew that, hey, when's yoga today? When are you doing yoga? I was like, well, I try to do it. I try to do it about the 12:15 my time, which would be your 9:15, right?
Yeah.
Or the noon, which is my 3 o'clock.
Right.
But a lot of times I've had to do like a 7:30, which is 7:30 p.m., which is
Yeah.
jazzes me up quite a bit. I mean, it's not a yoga that you're ready to go to sleep afterwards. It's never been for me anyway.
Yeah. Some people can, which which is great. Not me. I'm ready to party afterwards too. Thomas, you look like you've lost some weight in your face. I can see, right? This diet
thanks.
you're on. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, and you're making me think of, you have such amazing discipline. And I think the yoga, the more you take it, the more the better the discipline you have, and also the better you're listening to your body, and all of a sudden you don't want you don't have the cravings that you used to have, you know, or there's a part of you that's disciplined in a way where the adult in you says, wait a minute, I'm ready to make those better decisions. Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I would, you know, maybe this is what the challenge did for you, you know, to help you stay strong in that decision. Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna clean up that part of your life too, for you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because of the value in yourself, you know?
No, definitely. I mean, to follow through with a 60-day challenge, it's kind of like, okay, well, I've got my goals now for this diet, and this is my weight goal. And if I could do 60 days of yoga, I can do this.
Yes.
And I've done a 60-day challenge before, but it's been a few years.
Yeah.
And, you know, I gave it my best shot for, you know, the January one, but yeah, it's too much.
Well,
So.
you know, though, you guys, right? How many of us started a challenge and maybe went 30 days, the first one, or 40 days, or you know, or 50 days? In fact, Jessica, Matt, Sarah, Michael, didn't we talk one time where there was a statistic where the majority of people giving up on their challenge was in between like the 40th and 50th day, like really close to the end, right? Like, you know, so, you know, Thomas, I think that's great. I mean, what is super is that you didn't let the last one of not completing it define going into this next one. Right. Yeah. So never give up. I mean, you know, those words we say, but they have to be embedded in you. Right.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate all your instruction. Yeah. Enjoyed all the teachers. You guys all have a little different twist, and it's fantastic. It really is. I talk you guys up all the time to everyone. Yeah.
Good. Go Michigan State. Thank you, Thomas. That's great. You know, it's funny, just Thomas and Lenora, I know you guys are friends now too, and Neil, I remember Matt teaching us with the live stream to open up the chat so you guys could chat with each other, right? Even though we were teaching, you guys could, you know, talk to each other as a community too. I always thought that. I always like seeing it after coming out from teaching that maybe you guys have said a few things to each other, which is, you know, you wouldn't have known each other.
Right.
Miss Cleveland, Mr. San Diego, and Mr. Michigan, right?
Yeah. Thanks.
Keep us posted and stay with your practice, Thomas. We love you.
Thank you. Love you guys too. I will.
Anybody want to go next? I don't have to. You can light up your screen like Hollywood Squares. Bing. Go, Michael. I can't hear you. You're on mute.
Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, I like a lot of people, I didn't practice a lot last year, and I did the winter challenge. I did it 30 days, and then I just stopped. No particular reason, just stopped. And then when the summer challenge came, I started that and made it through, and I haven't stopped since, so it works. Yeah, it's been a great way to shed some pounds and get back in touch with my body and my mind, and just getting everything together. And so I've been loving practicing again. And I only missed one day since starting the challenge, and I'm doing doubles too, so I'm really getting into it. So
how's your energy and your sleep and stuff?
I remember, well, I started the first month, I was online only.
Yeah.
And doing live streams, and that was kind of good because I was pretty inactive for the year before. So it was a way to build up my strength, you know, even though I didn't have the heat. But then halfway through, the studio here in Monterey opened, so I went into the hot room, and that was wonderful. So it feels great to be in the hot room again. And I even enjoy, tracking on the refrigerator. I decided to continue. So I made up a new sheet so I can track every day and all that good stuff. So it really helps, it just makes, when I come home, I put another check in the box and, feels great.
Yeah, that sense of accomplishment. We'll have to take a picture of that too. Yeah.
And so, these challenges are so good for restarting or just rehoning your practice. That's what I love about them. So yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, and then having the connection with each other too is great. Yeah, I mean, this one feels, from my point of view, Michael, this one feels different to me than the last one. Like, same thing like with Thomas. You had the first one, got you started, and then this one.
Yeah.
Right? So
yeah, it really got me going. And I'm sure, a lot of it had to do with just knowing that things were starting to get back to normal. So it made me have more faith in just carrying on with it. So, yeah.
Well, congrats, Michael. We saw you in your t-shirt. You look good.
Yeah. It feels good to be, taking care of myself more. Yeah.
Doesn't everybody feel that way? I do. Yes.
Yeah.
Right? You really realize how much the yoga is taking care of you. Like the whole thing. It's not like you go do Bikram yoga and that does just one part, and then you got to go somewhere else and take care of something else, right? That's what I love about this. It's the total package, and it's only 90 minutes to get everything, right? And then everything else that you do for the rest of the day, even if you choose to go on a bike ride or lift weights or whatever, it's just like optional. It's discretionary, right? It's just the yoga is giving you everything, right? The meditation, the mental therapy, the exercise of the lungs, the cardiovascular. I know it always fascinates me that it's a total deal, right? So
yeah, I love this practice.
Yeah, we know you do, Michael. That's great. Congrats. He's the one who you guys designed the shirt. Let's give it a big applause to Michael.
It's really cold. I'm in Monterey, out on the coast, so it's too cold for a muscle shirt. I've got 3 layers on.
Yeah, but you know what? These are so cool that you could wear a sweater underneath and put it over it. Kind of like Thomas is doing. He's got a t-shirt on underneath. So I'm sure we'll find creative ways in wearing these.
Is it Michael's idea to have tie-dye?
No, Jill.
Jill's idea, right? You guys, we weren't sure it was going to go over very well. I had
decided to be bold.
Yeah. There was a part of me one day, I was telling Jill this, going, oh man, this might be a season that we wish we never had, right? Like with but they came out good, right? Yeah. Jill, I'm sorry you didn't finish the challenge. You guys, she so wanted the tie-dye. But
it's so bad. I'm sorry.
I know. It kills me too, but you can borrow mine. You can't have it. You can borrow it when you want to wear it. Oh, that's funny. But you can't, right? Some people call and say, you guys, that they want to buy one of these shirts. You can't buy it. The only way you can do it, right, is to have
gotta earn it.
You gotta earn it. Oh, thank you, Michael, for all your sharing. That's great. Angel, why don't we go to you? Angel and Elizabeth. Woo!
No, you talk.
Congratulations, Angel.
Well, thank you. This is my 4th 60-day challenge that I've done.
4th. Wow. Congrats.
All 4 t-shirts.
You have all 4 t-shirts. Yep. Yeah, they become a collector's piece, you guys, for sure.
For now, okay.
Is there anything about this one, Angel, that was different, or just something that you embarked upon that was,
Well, it was a little bit harder because we haven't done it for a while. Back and forth.
Yeah.
But it was pretty good.
Yeah.
Can't complain and just get back into that routine. That's all I gotta do.
Yeah. Is that what you did it for too, to help you get back into the routine again?
Yeah, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Willing to sleep in the night, willing to get up in the morning.
Yeah.
And that's really helpful.
And you did it all mostly indoors. Did you do it indoors the whole time? But just different? Yeah.
On and off, not all the time.
Okay. Okay. So you did a mix.
But
For the 60-day challenge.
oh no, the
you did.
60 days, I did it in 50 days
Oh, okay.
because I did that was like 10.
Good for you.
But after the 60 days, after that 60 day, I keep going and going and going.
Oh, that's great.
I only missed 4 days,
Yeah.
I think. But besides that, it's all good. Back to normal.
Back to normal, right? It's
Yep.
good to see both you and Elizabeth back taking class all the time, right?
And thank you for everybody's help. Everybody.
Aw, you're welcome. You guys have been coming a long time. Gosh, Elizabeth, you've been coming how long? Like
10 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I started at your studio in November of 2011.
Wow. That's great.
Yeah.
Did you done a challenge though? Have you ever done a challenge?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay.
But it just didn't work out this time.
Yeah,
So-
that's okay. We're not worried about you. We know you're not going anywhere.
No, I'm not.
You'll be with us another 10 years, both you and
Yeah.
Amy. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, 60 days in a row is a big deal. So congratulations,
Yeah.
Angel.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Yay.
Yep. Stay on it. Stay on it. Woo! Congrats. Let's go to sweet Tammy that I see over there. Tammy's in the house. Tammy,
Hello.
you're 100% online, right?
Yes, I live in Daly City, and so I actually just do online courses. And this 60-day challenge, I actually did a lot of YouTube recordings because of just like work schedule, and but I went traveling too, so I think it was just easier to do YouTube.
So even when you traveled, you did the YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Yeah, good for you. That's great.
So there's a lot of viewer up percentage in the viewer count. For those of you who-
Thank you. Yeah, we do notice those views, and that's great. Take advantage of it, right? That's the point, right? To have a service to you, right? Like that. Tammy, this isn't your first challenge, though. No.
I also did the winter challenge, but this is my second challenge. It's been really rewarding, and just going through. I would say, yeah, during the 40th day, I kind of hit like a wall, and for my countdown sheet, I actually have a quote from Bikram. It says, "If you can, you must," and that just kept me motivated every morning. Like, I must do this. I must. And then it was just really nice to finish on the 60th day. Yeah, for those who don't know, like I also bought a house, and so it was really stressful during that time going through. So I felt like the meditation was really helpful. The energy level that I got from it really helped each day.
Awesome.
I really think just Bikram yoga in general for the stress relief.
Yeah. And Tammy, I would see you often at the studio, but I gotta say, with the pandemic, I feel like I actually feel like I see you more, which is interesting, right? You know what I mean? It's like cool. I mean, you're one of those too where I saw you once in a while, but like I see you obviously every day, with the challenge. I'm curious, on your 40th day when you had that, if you can, you must. Was there a like the 60th day or whatever, somewhere where that kind of passed, because you're still doing the yoga, right? It's not like you stopped. Yeah. Okay.
I think overall, I think now I've dialed down to maybe 6 days a week. So I do take a day off just so that way I can recuperate. But I feel like the day that I don't do it, it makes the next day extra special. Like, oh, I need this now. And it keeps me motivated for the rest of the week to keep going because I just feel a difference in my mood and just, I guess, my accomplishment for that day. I feel like doing Bikram yoga just helps me.
Sarah, you and I were just talking about that today, right? We were just talking about how, sometimes that day can help, right? That day
Yes.
off. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Sometimes it can, for sure. But with a regular practice, I think Bikram's advice changes because he'll sometimes say you have to do it 7 days a week, and sometimes he's famous for saying only idiot does Bikram yoga on Sundays. So it's like, so you pick between the two. But
well, Rajashri is always
she's always
been a 6 day a week kind of advocate.
And I think that one thing that I find if I take time off, or not weeks and weeks, but like a day, or so, is that if often it's useful to me when I'm practicing now, if I've learned something that I didn't really get before, and then the whole neurology changes, and take a day off and let it settle in. And there's all kinds of reasons, but that's one, that's one that comes to me. And then I come back and I can do it again. I can do it again because I've really learned it in the cells.
Yeah.
So either works, I think, to do it every day or to take a day off now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I feel like sometimes too, you guys, right? It's the nourishment has to sink in.
Yes.
Sometimes you don't know you need a steak. Maybe I'm using the analogy of food, but and all of a sudden, like maybe you have a little piece of steak and I don't know if you guys can feel once in a while where it's like your body needed that little bit of extra food, right? You just feel more alive. It's kind of the similar, right? Like maybe you need that day, just let that nourishment sink in.
Yes.
So I see that to you, Tammy, because, that's a great point to bring up, because sometimes if we're in that 40th day and we hang it up, we don't realize it's just a phase. And if we like you had that mantra that helped you to stay with it, and that phase diffused, you moved through it, and I think that's life too, right? We have to know that this too shall pass, whatever we're in, right? It's not going to stay forever. I get it. I mean, there are some situations where you're like, will this ever end? I mean, that's human, right? Like, but, to know, no, it passes, so way to go, way to know that and do, and have something to hold on to help you through the phase, through that valley until you got to the other side. And I know I see you in class. It's not like, you were just going to make it to the 60th day and then forget, quit, pack it up and go. You move through it, and then here you are, right? Too. And your hair got extra long. I think the yoga nourished your hair because it's beautiful. It looks really good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you to all the teachers.
Thank you, Tammy. Tammy, you guys, in case you don't know, maybe you see her bmirror was her big screen TV. So turn your body forward, try to touch the TV. That's great. It works. Hey, it works. Oh, awesome. Thank you, Tammy. Let's go right to Claire. Claire, woo, congratulations, Claire.
Yay. I also did most of mine from home this time, just trying to stay safe. And so I think I did 4 classes at the studio during the 60 days. I've done before and after, but for the 60 days, it was just 4 in the studio. And I missed the hot room. Today, I was telling after class? Somebody that it was challenging because I've taken so many at home and I don't have the heat like I want at home.
Yeah.
But it was a great class today. Thank you this morning, Michelle. That was awesome.
You're welcome. It was a good high energy class. And Claire wore her 60-day challenge shirt with pride in there.
Yeah, I just picked it up this morning.
Anything different about this one, Claire? Because I know you've done so many. Anything?
Yeah, well, the big difference, I think, so I did the spring one and that was all at home, but everybody was home, like you said. And this time it was different because, I don't know, just making it a part of my day, making sure that I got my yoga in. I finished early because we were having out of town guests. And so I finished early. I had to do a few doubles, but I've always had to do a few doubles. I think this might be my 12th challenge.
Wow. So for you, it's like, I mean, they're a big deal. Don't get me wrong, because I'm the same way. But it's just, you just get in there and do it.
Yeah, I just figured out how to do it.
Yeah.
But I never tried to do it when I was working full time in the computer industry. I only committed to do it when I knew I could do it. And I have. Every time I've tried it, I've done it. So
Are you one of those two that does it every single day with not a lot of doubles, like just doing it consistently every day?
I try. I have to do a few doubles for whatever reason. I can't.
Yeah, if that happens. Yeah. Congrats, Claire. It you know, and I get what you're saying. I mean, because right, you know, when it was COVID, you guys, we were at home, and now it's like we're back to traffic, you know, back to work, you know, kids now in school, and so there's more to work around.
Yeah.
Right.
We
So
never think about it before COVID. It was life.
Yeah, it's like roll out of bed, put the camera on, or put the Zoom on, and do it, right? So, awesome, Claire. You know, and wonderful to have you teach so much too. So,
thank you so much. Great to have all you guys in my classes. So happy for all of you that you've accomplished this as well. So good job. Yeah.
All right, Chaz. I see a chat here. Is that you? Let's have you chat. From South Korea, you guys. She's in South Korea. Woo!
Yeah, look at it's crazy.
Oh my gosh!
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Yeah, this challenge was crazy, Michelle, because it's been like a month and a half. I'm in Korea now for work. So I'm just really grateful for the online classes. I actually took classes with Claire and Carrie and Ashley. So that was really good. Because there's like a 15-hour difference.
Oh, wow.
So I would take classes at 5:30 in the morning, which would translate to about 9:30 p.m.
Oh.
And then Saturdays, Sundays, I would take the 8:30 a.m. class, which is usually like your 4:30 p.m. Fridays. Yeah. So I don't know how. I feel like practicing at home is kind of like slacking, you know, because I really like the hot room. I know everybody says it's a bit challenging, but I think without the heat, you kind of feel like a bit relaxed, you know. So what I try to do is put on a lot of layers of clothing and then just try to go through the classes. But yeah, it's really good to mix up indoor and also at home.
Yeah.
Practice. Yeah.
Jazz, I don't know if you can hear me, but with that kind of commitment level, I mean, gosh, we all applaud you. That's just amazing that you're in South Korea doing this.
My friends think I'm crazy, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. Exactly. Yeah, yoga people are crazy, so just take it as a compliment. Like, thank you. But do you find that it made a difference even in your productivity and in your work and in your days? I mean, you know.
You know, I'm just so grateful that I stumbled upon this type of yoga, you know, like years ago, and it really helps with the level of stress that I have, you know. And so like with the night classes, with the 9:30 p.m. classes, which translates to 5:30 a.m., it's perfect because after work, I would just de-stress by practicing yoga and then just go to sleep. And I have insomnia, so back home, what I would do is do doubles, and then I'll sleep better at night, right? But it really helps for me. It really helps. And I've been coming to your studio since 2015, Michelle. Wow. So I really enjoy. And I think this is probably my 5th challenge. I failed one challenge, so this is probably
no such thing as failed. So, but I understand what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But you know, I'm so competitive, right? Even though it's the 60-day challenge, it's more like you challenging yourself. you know, I'm competitive in myself as far as like, oh, you need to finish this. And there are days when I'm like, I just want to drink beer and have fried chicken.
Well, then that's what you do it for, so you don't do that. That's crazy, right? So if the yoga helps you stay away from fried chicken and beer, good job.
Actually, that's absolutely right, because when you make the yoga, the hot yoga practice part of your life, automatically your body just doesn't want to ingest foods that are, how do you say this? That isn't conducive to practicing yoga. Because I feel like even though everybody tells me you need to not eat 3 hours before practice, I feel like you can eat, but it's got to be certain kinds of foods, like clean foods, you know?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it's a struggle. It's a struggle because, you know, fried chicken is my you know, vice.
Yeah, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you don't enjoy it, right?
Correct,
You have it when, you know, you make a conscious choice and when you're going to have it, you know, and I think a lot of it to you guys, you know, back to food again, but, you know, is portion control, right? You know, have what you know you can enjoy that your body can take, right? And the yoga helps with that too. I think for all of us, right, once we get into the yoga, we know how good we can feel. And all of a sudden, anything less than that is not acceptable, right? That's a motivation, right? Like, it's like, I feel I'm the same way. It's like, you know, I want to feel great all the time because I know what that feels like, right? So, you know, then, you know, sometimes the choices you make are altered, but it doesn't feel like a sacrifice. It's just like you know, you can feel great. You don't want to feel just good. You want to feel great, right? So.
Right. Yeah.
So, Jazz, are we mailing your shirt to South Korea?
No, I'm going to be coming back to the States this next Saturday. So I have about a week more. I can't wait to come back to the hot room. So I hope to come back on Sunday next week. And I can pick it up. I'll pick it up. Yeah.
Great. Yeah. We'll be happy to give it to you and take
I know. I'm so excited to come back to the hot room. We can't imagine.
Yeah. Congratulations, Jazz. Thanks
Thank
for
you so
joining
much,
us
Michelle.
tonight,
Appreciate
too.
it.
So I'm so proud of you. We're all so proud of you. You're just
Thank you.
amazing member. Awesome. Okay, let's go to Linda because she's got her t-shirt on. Let's see, Linda. Sport your 60-day.
Hi, I love it.
Woohoo!
I love tie-dye. I think a month ago or so I made tie-dye shirts with my kids, and they love. We do things like that, and
you guys,
so thank you. I this is my dream come true. So
nice, and we're making the fashion statement. I heard it's the in thing. Did you hear that?
It is the in thing. It's the modern thing now. It's the being hippie is a modern thing.
Yeah,
so.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So tell us about your challenge this time, Linda.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate everyone. And just since I have my mother-in-law has the same schedule as yours. She lives in Singapore, and she's also 15 hours difference to Pacific Standard Time, and she has the exact same schedule as yours. Her name is Ivy Lowe.
Oh.
And you probably see her during your practice. And this challenge, I really appreciate this challenge. It was definitely challenging. How so? With back to school, with the Delta variant, with the poor air quality and the wildfires in California. I had to do 4 different types of class platforms. I did YouTube. I did the live stream, and I did the indoor and also the online, but I mostly did the indoor. And I love the indoor because I felt in the hot room, the air quality is the best. It's so superior. I go in and I feel safe with the mask on, and I feel Michelle and the team, BYC team, like, thank you so much. It's a blessing. I feel great going in, and I feel great going out. It's really safe, and I definitely want to endorse that to everyone. And it's a wonderful, beautiful practice. I also love the windows view. You get to see the treetop, and I practice mostly 5:30 a.m. So I get to see on some of the days, or many of the days, the sunrise.
Yeah.
And then I know that's a good day because that's going to be a good air quality day. And when you can see the sunrise and see, the orange in the sky. And when it's hazy, it's smoky outside, you're like, okay, this is going to be a smoky, bad air quality day. Bummer. But at least I get to practice. And I really love Sarah's yoga pants with the sunrise on there. She already knows. I already told her like 10 times. But, but her yoga pants is the sunrise on the days that on the days that are hazy, and it just makes you smile. I'm wearing my mask on. I know Sarah doesn't see it when I practice class, so I'm like smiling, checking out Sarah's pants. I'm like, I'm not gonna look at the window. I'm just gonna look at Sarah's pants.
Look at Sarah's pants. Yeah.
It's the sunrise at 5:30 a.m. 6 a.m.
Thank you, Linda. I'm pleased.
Oh, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, and I just love it because despite so much going on in the world and so much just changing, I just really like the 90 minutes practice. It's sealed in my heart. It's part of my identity.
Yeah.
It's part of my lifestyle. And it's part of my stress reduction in life. And it just keeps me going forward. So thank you so much.
You're gonna make me cry, Linda. I'm so
Oh.
I'm proud of you. I really feel like I've seen you blossom into this. I mean, I knew you many, many years ago, right? When you did Karma Yogi with us, you guys, she was work trade, and then we've seen you with your husband and then become a mom. And you just are this, wonderful contributor to life out there, and just the things that you've shared, with me. And you've been a diehard, yogi, and to see you, don't take this wrong. It's beautiful to see you mature in such a beautiful way as a human being. It's, inspiring. It's great. Yeah. Yeah. So congratulations to you. You're right. And, I'm thinking about your kids too. If you think about it, you guys, your kids are how old now?
My son Harvey's 8 and Haley's 6 years old.
So when you say it's become part of your identity, I mean, that is accurate. I mean, and your kids know you only as that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're going to always know you. I mean, Jessica, you too, a lot of you guys that are parents, right? Your kids know you. Talk about identity, that they know you as, you do yoga. How cool is that for, your kids to grow up and you model, that for them. So, yeah. The other thing that Linda points out to you guys, I think maybe, I don't know, the COVID challenge, we only had, right, online. And now, right, this one, you have those different platforms, like you said, Linda, right? You had the YouTube, we had the YouTube then, but you had the YouTube, the online, the indoor, and then the Zoom, which is the direct. So in a little bit of a way, the accountability was more on you, right?
Yeah.
You don't have like, a teacher in front of your face keeping you accountable every single day, whether you're indoor or on Zoom, right? The reins were a little bit looser, and you had to make the choice every day for yourself, right? You had to hold yourself accountable. So that's a big deal. Congrats,
Thank
Linda. Always a joy to hear what you have to say. Congrats. Woo-hoo.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah, I was supposed to be off the grid today camping, but the trip got canceled, and so I'm glad to be here and celebrate with the party and awesome group. So thank you.
I'm sorry you didn't go, but I'm glad you're here with us.
Yeah, it's okay. It's worth it.
Yay. Let's go to Ilya. Woo! Congratulations.
Hi. I'm actually in Taiwan.
Wow. Isn't this amazing? And who's the one who said this? Lenora, maybe you kicked it off. I mean, we would have never done this a couple years ago, right? Now we've got Taiwan.
Yeah,
So,
I just arrived 4 days ago, so I'm in the quarantine hotel.
oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
And you're smiling. Good for you.
But
How many days you got to be there? How many more days?
Total of 15 days. Actually, only 14 days, but they don't count the day you arrive. So it's actually 15 days.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But because it is 15 hours different, so I think I will be able to take the 4:30 afternoon class because it's going to be my 7:30 in the morning.
This is good for us to know, Michael, Jessica, Matt, and Sarah, right? Jill, right? Great. Yeah, as you say it and Jazz says it, too. So yeah, good, perfect. But you finished the challenge, of course.
Yeah.
This
is the first time. This is the first time I ever take 60 days. I remember on my second day, I want to say hello to Matt, Sarah, and Claire. I took a lot of your classes, and of course Michelle. And I remember, I think it's my second day, and then Claire asked who's doing the 60-day challenge, and I say I am. At that time, I was thinking, oh my God, I have 58 days to go. For me, I think the most difficult was the first 2 weeks. I didn't do anything at all. I didn't do any yoga at all last year. So the starting of the 6th day was the first time to the restart for me. So the first 2 weeks was I was exhausted, and a lot of poses I was able to do, I couldn't. So it's a little bit frustrating. And so I remember I keep waiting for, they say, yoga is supposed to give you energy, right? So where's my energy? And so I was waiting for this 2 weeks to be over, and then I can get that energy. And then it did, eventually it did come. And I felt great. And also, I really appreciate the online club. I did the entire 6 days online. And I think I was able to really listen to the instruction. There's some of the details, in the past when I was in the class, it was just, it just pass you by. And then, and also you're distracted by other people, right? So you didn't really listen. But I found, because, doing the online class, there's only me in the room and the instructor and the instruction. Yeah. So I feel I was able to really listen. And also from the angle, from the part of my body, the teacher was able to see at that time. And I was able to get corrected. And there's so many things that I didn't know I was doing wrong. So I was really appreciative for the experience. And I think without the online class, I don't think I was able to participate in the challenge.
Wow, that's great, right? I mean, having the online, and plus for you to start your practice again, using sort of the 60-day to kick in your practice again, right? Yeah. And I think we talked about this in the last challenge. I mean, right? How many of us learned so much more with our practice at home? I mean, I think we can all raise our hands and go, my gosh, yeah, I heard things different, myself included, right? So, there's just a whole nother perspective, right? You're right. And you're on your own, and it's the teacher can see you differently. So, and it's not like you're doing things wrong. I think A, it's that you're hearing it for the first time, and B, maybe the teacher's seeing it for the first time, right? And then you're able to adapt to it. Right. Yeah. So Great, Ilya. Thank you so much. And I'm glad you're going to continue the yoga. How long are you going to be in Taiwan?
I am going to be here till October 23rd. Not long. I'll be back.
But long enough, right? Long enough. So,
yeah.
You know.
I'll come to the studio to pick up my shirt.
Yes.
When I come back.
Yeah, you got to wear that shirt with pride, your first one. Woohoo! That's great. It's nice to see you here with us, Ilya, and congratulations again. Your smile is infectious. Can tell you're glowing. That's great. Yeah. Good luck in your quarantine. Okay, be safe. Yeah, seriously. Congrats. All right, let's go to Neil. Neil's in the house. Neil, woo!
How you doing? So, Ilya, by the way, there's a great studio in Taipei called Hatha Yoga. I don't know if you've practiced there, but when you get out of quarantine, it's run by a husband and wife, and they're just absolutely wonderful people.
You've been there?
Many times. I've been to Taiwan like 40 times.
Okay.
So, and I always practice yoga when I go there. So
I'll check it out.
Nice.
Yeah.
What a good tip there, Neil. Yeah. There you go,
So-
right? Yep.
Yeah. So I guess technically I didn't do a Bikram yoga 60-day challenge, but I did continue to practice every day. So I did 4 days a week of Bikram yoga and 3 days a week of vinyasa, because when things in California opened up again in mid-June, I started going to my local vinyasa studio, 6 a.m. classes, hot vinyasa 3 days a week. So that at least got me back in the hot room. And then the other 4 days a week, I continued to practice online with you guys. It was mostly Matt and Sarah. I feel like they're pretty much members of the family now. I've taken so many classes with them.
Good for you.
But also you and Kerry on occasion as well. So I found that schedule kind of worked pretty well for me, because I would be doing Bikram 4 days in a row, and then maybe I feel like a little bit ready for a change. Then I do Vinyasa 3 days, and then I feel like, okay, now it's time for another change, and then I do Bikram again. There were about 2 weeks where I think I did Vinyasa 4 days a week, and I only did Bikram 3 days a week. And 2 of the Bikram days were the live stream, because I do the 6 a.m. on the weekend. And I felt that wasn't really enough, because I felt I really needed 2 days a week where I was practicing with an instructor, and I needed correction. Otherwise, the bad habits build up, and it's like downhill. So I kind of went back to the Friday and Monday online with the instructor, and then the live stream on Saturday and Sunday. But it was good, at least, even though it was Vinyasa rather than Bikram, it was good to be back in a hot room 3 days a week.
Sure.
Because we do, of course, have Bikram studios in San Diego, but they don't have 6 a.m. classes, and at least not anymore. And it just doesn't work for me. The online classes are just awesome. They're awesome. It's just, I can't even begin to tell you just how convenient it is. And the quality of the instruction, from Matt and Sarah and yourself and Kerry, it's just fantastic. I mean, you guys don't miss anything. I have to confess, I always feel like a certain amount of pressure, especially when we get to, where I have to start locking my knee. I can feel the stress building up.
Because Sarah's looking at you in the camera. She knows you're there, right?
Yeah.
And we don't always correct you, even so we see more than we correct.
That is so true.
Yeah. So feel a certain amount of pressure, but it's you know what you call eustress. It's good pressure.
Good,
It's good
loving
pressure.
pressure. Absolutely.
It's,
Yeah.
it's,
All
it's
in
good
the
pressure.
name of service to you and helping you. Yeah. So that's
And
the biggest thing. Yeah.
yeah, and I still haven't missed a day since July 3rd of 2018. So it's so it's almost 1,200 days without taking a break. So we were saying earlier about should you take a break or shouldn't you take a break? I don't feel like I need to because the bouncing back and forth between Bikram and Vinyasa, it just kind of keeps me fresh mentally and physically. So I don't feel like I want to break. And what I do, since I always do like 5:30 or 6 a.m. class, as soon as I wake up, if I feel a little bit tired, because I do a lot of conference calls with Asia in the evening, and then maybe I have actions after the call, and I might get to sleep late. And when I wake up, I just mentally time travel about 2.5 hours hence, and I remind myself there was never a single time ever in like over 1,000 times where I did any kind of yoga and afterwards I didn't feel way better than before I did it. So I do the mentally time travel, get myself out of bed, and then I time travel back to whatever the actual time is, and I get ready for the session.
Wow, isn't that, Sarah, it's ironic. Sarah and I were just talking about that too, about how there's never been, for myself included, in all my, 20 plus years of doing, I've never had a class where I sat back later and regretted it. I've never regretted it, right? Yeah. So way to go on that, Neil. And when I look at you, Neil, and I think all of us are getting to know you, right? Too, you're very disciplined. That's just such a great quality to have, right? Like you're a disciplined person. But more than I think taking a break, probably the right word is like balance, right? And and I heard you just say that you even felt like you didn't do enough Bikram, and you had to bring in another Bikram one, right? And so you figured out what your balance is. And that's the important thing, right? You don't want to be over-consumed, and you don't want to be like, lazy sitting on the couch eating potato chips either, that kind. But you got to find that balance. And that's always sometimes a moving target, right? Like, Lenora, you've got your balance, and I'm myself included. I'm not sure it's every single day, right? But it's just what's that right balance, So I'm curious though to ask you, when you said that you kind of knew that maybe you needed to bring in another Bikram because the behaviors, the posture behaviors, or was it just something in your mind where you just knew, I need another day of Bikram?
There were actually a couple of factors. So I had been doing, the 4 days a week.
Yeah.
And then for Vinyasa, they kind of added a fourth day at 6 a.m. So I'm like, okay, that's hot room. So, maybe I'll try that. But after a few weeks, it just kind of like fell off, for a few reasons. One is I really did feel like I needed the second day with that instructor. That was really critical. Then the other thing is just because of the COVID, we don't have to wear masks in San Diego. So I was kind of experimenting when I was doing Vinyasa. I was at 6 a.m. There's not that many people, so it's like the safety factor is already pretty good. But I was experimenting a few times with wearing a mask anyway, and it just I didn't really like it as much. So I kind of wanted to keep it to just 3 days a week, basically. Even with the reduced number of people, and then if I practice at home, obviously, there's like no concerns. So it's just a matter of experimenting a little bit, thicker mask, lighter mask, no mask, 4 days of Bikram, 3 days of Bikram, just kind of experimenting until I found out kind of like what was right for me. So right now I'm at a place that feels totally comfortable.
That's great. That's great. The other thing I'm hearing you say too, which I love, thank you very much, is that the value of you taking it indoors, Vinyasa, or Bikram, right? The value of taking it online live stream, they're no different. You're not weighing your decision on whether it's indoors or not. Do you know what I mean? You guys, you know?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's because I've taken I think I may mention this another time. I've taken so many classes with Matt and Sarah that I just like mentally insert what I know they would be saying when I do the live stream class, and it's it really works. It's like, okay, I really got to like focus on locking my knee, and like no cheating, like nobody's watching, but no cheating, because that's like wrong. So
Matt and Sarah, I love it because as I'm hearing you say it, Neil, every single one of you is like laughing, nodding, right? Like, yes, we can hear Matt and Sarah, and that's good. That's incredible. They're driving in like the right thing. So yeah, that's awesome. I'm so proud of you, Neil. Way to go. Way to stay, with your practice and the family here. So. And way to
thank
keep
you.
your health too. You look so radiant, keeping your youth, right?
Yeah, I can't say enough good things about the way you've managed the whole online thing, and the so I have live stream on the weekend, so it's great because it's kind of like you got a smorgasbord, and I can pick. Like, do I want to do live stream at 6 a.m. on Saturday and Sunday, or do I want to wait and, do online? It'll be a little bit later, but it's kind of like my choice. And there's any class without an instructor online, there'll still be a live stream option. So it's kind of like up to me. So
yes.
So I like having that I'm the one who's directing it, and as long as I want to do it, you're making it possible that I can do it. So that's empowering.
Thank you very much for thanking me, but really this has been a team discussion, that we talked about. And you guys know, like, we're, total 90-minute original Bikram, and the whole mission and vision is to, keep this yoga going, teach it, better and better, and spread it and have more and more people know it. So, when COVID came, I mean, maybe our facility shut down, but that doesn't mean we stopped delivering this yoga. And you guys, if it weren't for you guys taking advantage of it, we wouldn't do it. And we're hearing you, and we're hearing you still now, and that's why it's another great reason to have this party too, because you guys give us feedback, right? How you're going to continue this practice. Right? Because we're passionate about this practice because it works and it helps every human being on this planet. So how can we get it out there? Well, we've got these 4 different platforms, and, our team will tell you, we would have never thought about that. I don't know if you guys know this, but a week before we shut, I don't know how many days before we shut, we had a staff retreat here at my place in Campbell, and we thought about everything we were going to do for the year coming up. Well, none of that came to fruition because we shut down on March 16th and
that was 2 days.
2 days prior to shutting down, so but when you work towards a mission, I don't want to say it this way, it makes it easier, to be honest with you. There's a vision and a mission, and it was, finding ways to keep this yoga and delivering it, so that, and you're getting it. And you keep saying, Neil, that the value is great. In either choice I make, in either way I get it, it's still worth it and great and of value to me. That's awesome. Yeah.
And people are really surprised, like, when I chat with people and I say I'm doing Bikram yoga online, they're like, don't you need a hot room? Like, you can do Bikram yoga online? I'm like, yeah, you can do Bikram yoga online, but don't you need to like have like 100 degrees, and how do you do that at home? I'm like, well, people do have different strategies. I mean, some people practice in their bathroom and turn on a humidifier and all that. But personally, I found, as long as it's 70 degrees, I'm fine. So it does work. Would 100 degrees be nicer? Sure, but it's not it's not a requirement. It's, you know, like a nice to have, not a requirement.
Are Matt and Sarah, are you smiling? Is this guy a good student or what? Listen to him say all this. This is
Absolutely.
what say.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's when you know, Claire, right? Jessica, that a student is listening. Right? Way to go. You're 100% right. You know, and I myself and all of you guys, right? That days of old, you would only think that you could do this in the heat and humidity, right?
What Neil was saying about the live stream and imagining what we would say to correct you reminded me of a story of a gentleman who actually is in San Diego as well, Jim Callett. He tells a long-time friend of Bikram's, and he tells the story of how in some class, Bikram gave him this correction, really hard, a kind of harsh, firm correction about, I think it was locking his knee actually in balancing stick.
It's body down.
Oh, body down. That's
Yes.
it, body down in balancing stick.
Body down,
And then nothing. And so for years, Bikram just wouldn't correct Jim, even though Jim was taking his class all the time, and he'd get no corrections. And he's starting to get a bit self-conscious about this. And eventually he confronts Bikram and says, "Why aren't you correcting me?" He says, "You're still working on it."
Yes.
And then eventually, like 10 years later, he got a whole new correction. He was very excited. So now he has something else to work on for the next 10 years, you know.
I had the same experience, Jim, at teacher training, and even when we took his public class, Bikram said to me in pranayama, it always came, chest up, sweetheart, chest up, sweetheart.
Yeah.
So obviously he wasn't up, so I would hear him every time in my ear, and I'd have to say it to myself, chest up, sweetheart, chest up, sweetheart. And then I took his class and he didn't say it, so I figured it worked. You know, it's like,
yeah, it's a compliment. It's a compliment, right? You did it. Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
But I had to say it as exactly that. I could hear it, and if I didn't think it, then I didn't try.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, it was good.
But it also highlights that the learning we learn here is radically different to a school. Like if I told you at school that 2 + 2 is 4, you go, okay, I've got that, I'll remember that. And then if I said to you, hey, 2 + 2 is 4, you say, what, do you think I'm stupid? I got that last time. That's easy. But of course, it's got nothing to do with whether we remember. It's about us practicing and institutionalizing the understanding, effectively realizing that understanding in the fabric of who we are. And that takes time.
Yes.
It takes time, and it takes repetition and practice.
Yeah, I took many classes with Jim here in San Diego, and he's an awesome teacher.
Yeah.
He is amazing. There'll be 50 people in the room, and someone in the back corner of the room will need a correction, and he'll like notice it right away. It's nothing short of amazing. I mean, you guys do the same thing, but you know, he does it too. And one of his lines was, that's why they call it practice, because he said you're never going to be perfect. That's why it's practice.
Yeah, you're remembering really good things, Neil. That's great, because you're 100% right. And that goes for all of us, right? It is a practice, not a performance. You know, you hear teachers say that too, right? Thank you, Neil.
Sure.
Let's go to Joanne. You look all bundled up over there.
It's a little nippy on my balcony.
Congratulations, Joanne.
Thank you. This was a pretty amazing challenge for me. I did the winter one at home, but this was my first one in the studio. So my second challenge, but the first one in the studio. And it was pretty amazing for me. The year prior to this was a hot mess, like for everyone else. But leading up to it, I was in a pretty bad place of anxiety and depression. I had the shutting down of things actually was pretty good for me as far as like slowing down and quieting down. And then BLM hit, and that affected me really, really dramatically. Still kind of processing it. And I'm a professional artist. And so a lot of what I wanted to do was work it out through my art, but couldn't do that for various reasons. And so I was pretty much silenced for like a year, not through anybody else, it was my own doing. But there were some things I was working through as silence, and it ended up kind of building into this really unhealthy anxiety and depression. And I had committed at the end of 2020 to a solo show in July of this year. And I was trying to produce for it that whole time. And nothing came of it. That's not entirely true. No traditional outcome came of it. I ended up doing something for it, but no traditional outcome came for it. And it was incredibly stressful for me. And so I took the challenge as a way to reset, I guess. Life prior to the challenge was nonstop full, even though like we weren't really back 100% at my various jobs, but there was just constantly, everything was going. There was constant demand from all of the different things. And on top of the depression and the anxiety, it was just a wreck. And so when I started on the 12th, I think, because my show was on the 10th. And I was like, the Monday after I am starting. And so the 12th or whatever the day was, I was like, I am not doing anything. I'm not trying anymore in my own practice for a month at least, potentially my own for the whole 60 days. I'm not going to go hang out with anybody. I'm doing nothing. The other thing is I didn't see my husband for most of that year because I was trying to do all these other things.
Wow.
So I'm going to do nothing but, you know, do enough work that I can pay bills, come home, spend time with my husband, and do yoga. That was all that I was going to do for the 60-day challenge. And so I ended up being like really, I mean, I don't want to call it a hermit because it was done happily. I mean, I guess you could be a happy hermit.
Yeah.
So I was a happy hermit. I was a cozy hermit crab.
There you go.
My happy little crab shell. But the like every day going to the yoga studio, I mean, it was life-changing, literally. It gave me something to look forward to. It also allowed me, I really like sleep. I need like a full 8 hours. So I was going to bed at like 6:30 or 7 every day, which meant that like I could very easily, I had a good excuse to tell people like, I'm not looking at my phone. I'm like,
yeah,
sorry, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
And so I was able to like really disconnect in so many ways that I feel like we all really struggle with.
Yeah.
And then being able to have like that fresh night of sleep and then going into like a 5:30 a.m. class. Linda said about like starting the day with that sunrise. And then I took so many classes with Sarah too. And I felt like eventually it became kind of like she was calling it a discussion and I was kind of feeling like a partnership where like she would push me, but it was pushing me just to the right amount. Like it was always hard, but it was never more than what I could do.
Nice.
And I was constantly learning, and it was such a positive and like fruitful experience. My body wasn't really cooperating. Like that was really frustrating, but at the same time, there was still a lot of physical improvement while I was struggling with certain things physically. But the combination of the progress that was being done with the mental health, oh my God, it was. Like, I cannot say thank you enough.
I can confirm a couple of things. There was an enormous amount of improvement because of your attention, and that there was a rhythm to it. It did develop. I did see you.
Yes.
And there was like, what happened yesterday? What should we do today? You know, I can always say, I can just say good to you, and you know that it was from yesterday. It wasn't just some random thing. And then now what? And it felt very organic. Yes. So I'm glad that felt the same way to you. That's nice.
It did. Thank you so much for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
My pleasure. Literally my pleasure. I enjoyed it.
It was really amazing.
That's awesome, Joanne.
So good. I'm going to try to come back to 5:30 classes more regularly again, because I've been only doing it when I'm volunteering, which is on Fridays. And it's just like, I can just feel myself going right back. So.
Yeah. We don't want
I'm coming back.
Yeah. You sound good and look good. And so for what I'm hearing and hoping is that you've lifted out of this depression and anxiety, Joanne?
I wouldn't say that I'm like all out of it, but I'm leaps and bounds from where I can make decisions now. I couldn't make decisions beforehand, like, because I was constantly thinking like, well, if I do that, then I have to consider this, and then I have to consider this, and then I have to consider this. Now I can be like, well, I can manage this. I'm going to do this. So
Nice.
yay,
Nice.
I can make decisions.
Yeah. Yay. That's progress, right? Yay. Well, obviously keep doing the yoga as using this as a tool, right? Because, we know you and you're a beautiful person and a force in this world. And you have so many talents and skills. So I'm thank you, teachers, right? And all of you guys for leaning on BYSJ to help you in, your particular areas. We know that. We do know that. The team knows that. That's why we're open, honestly. So thank you for sharing that, Joanne. It's a beautiful story.
Thank you guys for sticking to the mission through all of this and making all the different ways available. Like, means a lot. Thank you.
You're gonna make me cry. Really, seriously, that's why we do this. We have a special community, you guys. We really do. Oh, I think, is that everybody? I see Lorraine's name, but I don't see you. Do you want to share with us, Lorraine? I thought I saw Roger too. You don't have to. I don't want to put anybody on the spot, but we'd love to hear from you. Oh. Yeah, you guys, and normally, right, when we do these parties at the studio, we got to kick everybody out because it's class the next morning, but we don't have to do that on Zoom. Well, I'll share then. Lorraine and Roger, and am I missing anybody else? Jessica or Matt, if you're looking, is there anybody? No. Okay. Well, I'll just share with you. I mean, for me, my challenge, honestly, I say this a lot, but you guys know I practice every day, and it's easy for me. Obviously, I'm in the studio. I can pick which class I want to go to, but I do it because you guys all do it, and I love the fact that we do it together. The mindset is different. Even though I do it every day, I mean, the mindset is different to do it 60 consecutive days. And that was my big thing, actually. All my years of practicing, when I did the 60-day challenge, I was one of those. That's why I asked you, Claire, I was one of those that would put some in the bank, right? That's not really how you're supposed to do it. You're supposed to do 60 consecutive days. And I would give myself excuses why, I can't do it that day, right? So it's not that I'm not working hard to change my schedule, but however, come on, you can do 60 consecutive days. So not that I mind doubles and all that. I think part of that was fun too, because I enjoyed. There was a time, you guys. I don't think Jessica, you might have been. I was a double person like all the time. I did doubles like on a regular basis. And talk about, it was fun, Neil, but that was not balanced. That's not bad. Doing it 5-6 days a week or every single day. And for me, what I do usually is the day will tell me if I don't do it. I don't plan it. It's just, there's just a day, like when I went to Chicago, I didn't do it. I think I did it once, and if something comes up here, like tomorrow, I'm not doing it. I got a bunch of things going, and that's okay. It's kind of that's my balance, right? It'll show itself to not come. Anyway, I'm making this long-winded, but so last time when it was COVID, it was the first time with my home practice that I never thought that I would be able to do. I did 60 consecutive days in a row with all of you guys. And that was a big deal, right? Yeah, it was a big deal, A, to have a home practice, and B, to do it every single day. So doing this one in the studio, right? And still having that impression, well, you're back in the studio and you're busy, you may not be able to do it every day, and maybe you do a double. I was like, no, let's try to do it every single day. So while I didn't have a colonoscopy, I had a root canal, darn it. And the root canal is what made me, where there was a day I had to do a double, but that's okay, right? And that was fine. It wasn't like, you know, you got to honor what's in front of you. I had a root canal, and you guys, I had the root canal, which was intense, and I used my yoga. I don't know if any of you guys have had a root canal. I know Jessica, you've had one. Matt, you've had one too. You know, they put this thing in your mouth and you have to hold it. I mean, I think I held it for maybe an hour 15 total. And I remember I asked the dentist for a timeout because I was looking at one spot on the ceiling and I was really practicing my breathing. And I remember he took it out of my mouth and he was like nervous, like, are you okay? And I'm like, I swear to God, I said this to him. I said, you know, I just need a minute to myself. Like I just needed like to take a breath, right? It was kind of like just a savasana. You know what I mean? I needed my blood pressure to normalize. I needed my blood circulation to come back to normal before I could start again. That's really what I did. And then I looked at him and I said, okay, I'm fine, ready to go. I'm sure he was like, this chick is weird, but it worked, right? You know, and I got through it, but I came home and I slept 4 hours. It was just like super, super intense. So Mari taught my 6:30 class that night, and I didn't take class that day. And I think the next day I took an evening class, and then I had to find a double in there. So I was proud of myself for doing it every single day, and wearing a mask, doing it every day, every single day, wearing a mask, which wasn't easy for me at first, like all of you guys, right? I had to learn which mask, you know, worked well for me, both taking and teaching. And to bring in my home practice into my indoor practice, right? You know, having the heat, but even the things that I learned, bringing it into the room, and just, you know, feeling the camaraderie with everybody again was exciting. So yeah. And I finished a day before I went to Chicago. So that was kind of a nice, you know, then yeah, right, Tammy? There's something nice about that, right? You have that sense of accomplishment, and then you can, then I felt myself like once I was at the airport, it was kind of nice just to let go, right? Just to let go. So these challenges are always so special, so special. So thank you very much, everybody, for supporting me too in my practice, right? Wow, you guys, I think that's it. Is there anything, Matt, Sarah, Jessica, you want to say?
Only thanking everybody for doing the challenge and taking on, you know, all the corrections that are offered and in the spirit in which they're offered. So thank you, everybody.
And Tom's cat is awesome.
Oh yeah, and Tom's cat is awesome. Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've met Tom's cat.
He was briefly on camera a moment ago. Yeah.
Oh, he was. I missed that. Oh my gosh, that's great. We love cats.
Apparently Michigan State won as well.
Oh, yes. Good job. All right. You guys, my cat Jill got a toy for my cat, and I can't believe how much Jack loves this toy. And do you see me looking down once in a while? Because he's kicked the toy right at my feet because he smacks it so hard, right?
You have a lot of cats in the family. That's great.
Yeah, cats and dogs are big, Thomas, at the studio. Cats
and kids from the home practice.
Yes. Yeah.
It's always fun to see that. And Lorene put a chat.
Thank you, Claire. I completed the challenge, my 14th. Wow. Congrats, Lorene. No mic on the computer, all online. Thank you, teachers, so much. Congratulations, Lorene. Make sure you pick up your t-shirt too. So
how long are you guys going to be, any idea how long the masks are going to be required for you?
You know, every Monday we meet as a staff, and part of that meeting is an update from Matt. He looks into it for us, you know, from Santa Clara County. And Matt, you can speak to this, but there's not been anything showing up at all, you know, so.
No, I mean, the case rates in our area have dropped by about 35% from when they peaked and the mandate was introduced, but you know, we just keep our fingers crossed that they'll be lifted soon. And what's your cat called, Tom?
He is okay. Don't laugh, but this is my dad's cat. But her name is Sweetie Pie.
Sweetie Pie. Oh my God.
Female.
That's a good one.
And she's very vocal. And my dad passed away in January.
Oh.
And she had escaped for like 5 months. And 2 weeks after he passed, I got a call from the emergency animal shelter. And they're like, we have your cat.
Oh my gosh.
And because she's chipped.
Yeah.
And I thought she was, I had seen her a couple of times in the I live in a condo association. And I'd seen her a couple of times, but she's like, I don't really want to come home. But I think my dad was like, no, get your butt home.
Yes.
So it was kind of cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Special. Wow. Look at those
Oh, you
eyes.
can hear her, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
Not a real big snuggler, but anyway. So
Yeah.
I'm going to let her go.
That's precious. It's like part of your dad with you, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you guys. Well, have a good rest of your evening, and we know we'll see you online and or in the studio or both. And just keep your practice going. And we just love you so much. So, yeah. Thank you again for sharing your stories and for letting us record this too, so that other people can be inspired. Yeah.
Love you too, Michelle.
Yeah. Bye.
Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Bye, Michelle. Thank you so much. See you
Thank you,
guys
Jessica, for
soon.
taking notes.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye.